I'm back. For those that don't know, I started a live this morning, but I had a meeting that I totally forgot about. And so I had to get off the live. Catch up Friday. Put my glasses on so I can see. Catch up Friday. Catch up Friday. Catch up Friday. Let me send the invite to, let's see here. I gotta send the invite. Wait a minute, guys. All right, send out my invite to my girl Tanya. We are going to do Catch Up Friday today. We don't really have anything like in particular that we're going to talk about. We're going to just do a Catch Up Friday. So I want to catch up on a couple of things while Tanya is on her way on the, hopefully on the live is. So I posted some opportunities yesterday, and I did get a lot of questions about the positions. They are IT roles. All of the positions are IT roles. So for those who are just hearing about the roles, we have a federal contract with a company up in Northern Virginia. And so we just won a lot of, just won the contract. So we have several positions: cybersecurity, programmers, web developers. I think we even had some Linux folks, civil engineers. Let's see, Tanya says she's unable to join. Let's see, can we get Tanya back on here? Civil engineers, program engineers. So we have a lot of opportunities that we will be identifying talent for over the next several weeks. So if you're in the IT industry and you know somebody that's in the IT industry and you're looking for a change, a new career, or something of that nature, let's see, please be sure to send them our way, or you can send the email admin@tmigroup.com. Let's see, let me, LaTonya, invite you to join. Hold on. All right. So send me a request, Tanya, to join, and then I can put you on that way. Just send a request, and then I'll put you on that way for Catch Up Friday. So I'll just keep talking until she gets on. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk about, those new IT roles that we currently have. And also, we don't normally do on the staffing and contract side. We kind of stopped doing a lot of the admin positions and call center and customer service. However, every now and again, we will have a few positions that will come up on the customer service and call center side. So we have some coming up for a client here in Charlotte, but you would need to be in the Charlotte area, and they're not; those are not remote opportunities. So you have to actually show up at the office and for these positions. Now, some of the other roles, the IT roles that I was just referencing to, those a few of those are remote. Okay, so anyway, just wanted to catch up on that. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, sis. Good morning.
Again.
Catch Up Friday.
It's Friday, child. Yes, all day.
I was just talking about the opportunities that the TMI group just won contract for some huge contract for some IT opportunities. So we will be identifying talent for those roles over the next several weeks. So
congratulations,
yeah, it's winning season. It's winning season.
Yes. So I publicly want to say congratulations. I'm happy for you. No surprises, girl. You're always working over there. So keep it moving. Keep leading us, sis. Keep leading us. So
listen,
very happy for you.
I appreciate that so much. And
Friday.
Yeah. And speaking of Catch Up Friday, before we get into, because I want to touch on a couple of things, but before we get into anything, and I might be driving because I haven't even made it to the office yet. Okay. But I wanted to catch up on a couple of things. First and foremost, let's talk about It's your new baby, your new monitoring and screening facility. So let's talk a little bit about that and what that looks like. So um, I see that you have I actually found officially kind of
Yeah.
launched. So congratulations to you too.
Thank you, sis.
Uh,
Look, I love it. Them wins. Yes, this is our winning season. Yeah, I'm excited. Another new journey. Yeah.
or tell us what would Taylor monitoring and screening services actually be doing?
Yeah, I'm really excited. One of the things me and Theresa talk a lot about is how do you really, we talk about scaling your business and growing your business. So Taylor monitoring the screening is just an extension of the transportation industry that I'm already in. And so my thought process was last March was how was I going to do business differently without just having to be 100% dependent upon trucks. And so that's how the birth of Taylor monitoring and screening kind of came about. At first it was just, oh, I'm going to do this in house and have these programs for my drivers. But God had a bigger plan. So I began to follow his lead. So the lead was, girl, go bigger. And
Mm,
so so we'll be rolling out phase one is rolling out the urine testing, which will be alcohol and drug testing. We'll start with that. That's phase one. And so we'll begin doing drug testing, not just for DOT, Department of Transportation. We won't be just doing it federally. We'll be doing non-DOT as well. So what that means is anybody that owns a small business, anyone who owns a business, and I'm going to stop using the word small because ain't nothing small about it. But yeah, whoever owns a business, if you require pre-employment background checks and drug testing, then you want to contact Taylor Monitoring and Screening because we take that process away from you and help you be able to screen and make sure you're getting a good candidate, in
absolutely.
regard you're looking for based on your qualifications, whatever that is. And then we're also going to make sure that we're bringing someone drug free into your workspace. So excited about that. We're kicking off next week, Theresa. Teresa's coming
Oh,
next week, so she'll get a
damn.
chance to see the has the DC. But my niecey baby, she'll get to kind of see set up and what we got going on. So yeah,
Absolutely.
girl, I'm excited over here. It's
Well, honey, I'm looking forward to it. And again, I'm super proud of you. And we love wins. And I don't think people understand sometimes, what that looks like when it comes to winning. And winning always sometimes is not about the monetary gain.
yeah,
If you woke up this morning, you winning,
yeah.
okay? Because that means you made the wake up list.
The first
But
day, absolutely.
I wanted to talk on something for the next couple of minutes or 20 minutes or
Why you
whatever. Um,
on that long ride?
oh God. Yeah, please don't remind me. The school is in Mooresville. You got my CDO school is in Mooresville. So yeah, I'm driving from Charlotte to Mooresville. I do it every day, practically every day. But I wanted to talk to you about, did you see the Jeezy and Nia Long interview?
Did I see it? Hold on, sis. Did I see it? Stop watching it. It's on right now, y'all. I am so thin. When they said, "Are you tapped in?" I am all the way. I was just watching, and then he just is handsome. Move, child. Let me pause it back.
Girl,
Yeah,
chocolate and fine, honey. Chocolate and fine.
and then
And
Neil, good.
when he talked, he even more fine. Like she's chocolate and fine. The growth
Yeah,
that we see.
absolutely.
Because how you and I are. We think we know these people personally. In our mind, we know these people
That's my
personally. But it's the growth that we see today versus
yeah.
what we've seen in the past and when he first initially came out. Because Jeezy is in our age group. And so we've seen evolve. I know a lot of folks were anti Jeezy when Jeezy married Jeannie Mai, because a lot of our sisters was a little upset about it because she's Vietnamese and he didn't marry a black woman. So I've seen a lot of comments about that, and hell, a lot of them were negative. And if anybody else want to chime in the comments, please feel free to do so. We had an open, candid
Yeah,
conversation.
for
But
sure.
but a lot of how did you feel initially though? Before we get to that interview, how did you feel when he first married? I mean, and no, guys, it doesn't even matter. We just have an open conversation. How did you feel
Yeah,
about it?
initially it was a little shocking for me. I was surprised. because he's Jeezy. And if you know his story, his background, and you know the history of him and the different phases of his life, that was a little surprising for me. In regard to that, I was caught off guard. However, at the end of the day, I think that we have to go through these situations in order to better understand ourselves. And I think that relationship helped him identify that you got to make sure that y'all are culturally, socially aligned. So that was my concern. How was he going to do that? It was more of that, not the fact that it wasn't a Black woman, because I love some us, and I think it's enough good ones of us out here. But everybody has their own choice. But I do think that it's important because I was concerned about the culture, if I can talk this morning, and socially, how was he going to be able to migrate into that? Because everybody's not your yin to your yang. So that was.
But then you can't help who you love either. You
if
can't
love, but that's for another topic. That's if it's love. Lust,
okay.
want something.
So
Yeah,
I think we can all say we were, well, I can't speak for everybody. Some of us may have been, some of us may have not been, but I was kind of surprised when I saw that he filed for divorce.
Correct.
I was surprised. Because I tell you, this divorce rate, child, it's just going up by the minute.
Correct.
But I was surprised, and so when I watched the interview, because obviously we don't have no stake in it one way or the other, but if they share their lives with us, it gives us the opportunity to voice our opinion.
Correct.
And so I watched the interview, and first and foremost, I love me some Nia Long. Okay, I love Nia Long.
Yeah.
Nia Long and Ashanti. I love Ashanti too. I love their spirits.
Right.
I think their spirits are genuine. You can feel a lot of their energy a lot of times when they talk, when they're on screen, when they're on the stage. But anyway, I love how open the background of where Jeezy came from, and for him to sit on that platform with Nia and be that open as a man, and a lot of the things he covered are so accurate when he said that we men, because men don't express themselves.
They don't,
because they're considered weaknesses. They're considered weak if they express themselves.
Talk about it.
And I love how vulnerable he was.
Yeah.
And I think those two were the perfect individuals to do that interview. And it looks like he invited Nia Long on the journey to be able to on that journey to do that interview with him. But it was something he said that resonated with me when I watched it. One thing he said is about men don't have safe spaces, but that was the first thing. They don't feel like they have a safe space sometimes to go and express themselves.
Correct.
The second thing was him going and coming face to face with his inner childhood.
Yeah.
He went back to that little boy that he has on his screensaver on his phone.
Yeah.
Which is that's young Jeezy.
Right.
And he faced them childhood demons to the point where he wrote a letter and apologized to his mom. Right. And I personally think that may have also had a lot to do with that marriage ending.
Because I don't think he knew himself fully. I don't think he had fully faced him. And sometimes you think that somebody else can help fix some of those things or block it out. But the reality was, until he stripped himself, until he faced that trauma, until he identified with it, and not just internally, going to therapy and then writing about it and sharing it. That's the win right there. And that's when you begin to really find yourself. And I don't think he would have done that if he hadn't taken this path, in order to do that. And it made him very vulnerable, made him very attractive, very sexy, if you ask me.
Girl, are you over there crushing on Jeezy?
Oh, let me stop, child. But yeah, I just think that it just really, he started his healing journey. He's in his healing journey, and he could not do that in that relationship because it would have been it was going to continue to be, I don't know if it's a train wreck, I don't know what it is, but he could not heal with her. He could not heal with her.
I don't think he could either, and I think he's taking this time now to heal. Now, I've seen a lot of backlash, because I do go and read comments.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, people were backlashing saying, "Oh, Jeezy was bringing the BS. Oh, Jeezy lying. Oh, Jeezy." But I looked at. I didn't see all that. What I saw was a black man opening up,
Yeah,
being
facts.
being vulnerable. I think people were more mad because he didn't sit and go give us verbatim, step by step, for what happened that led up to his divorce. But I don't think he needs to.
I don't think he needs to either. It's not our business.
And he was still trying to protect Jeannie Mai, so I like that
Mm-hmm.
because he was, he did. I
Mm-hmm.
like it was very
Mm-hmm.
tasteful how he presented it, right? And I
Agree.
think and I think he's still respected, of course, obviously that they're not fully divorced, but also that's still the mother of his child.
Correct.
So very,
Correct.
very tasteful. But he talked about his relationship with his son. He talked about
Mm.
him, how he was brought up, and what made him guarded.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you guys can hear Theresa. She went out on my end, but hopefully she's.
Did not see him talking about him being guarded, him talking about his relationship with his son, his relationship with his mom. I mean, I didn't see phoniness. I genuinely felt everything that Jeezy said.
Me
I
too.
felt everything he said as a man. And for me to see men open up, we talk about this all the time. You know that because men do not. Men don't
They do.
open up. Men are not vulnerable, right?
No.
Um, because again, that comes across as a weakness. But
Yeah.
it is nothing to me more attractive than a man owning and taking accountability for his actions. And I'm telling you that right there is the start of healing and the start of the entire process of shifting your mindset. Because
Yeah.
even with the whole therapy, he was like, they were talking about how men don't go to therapy. That shows a sign of weakness,
Yeah.
right? But a lot of us right now
Mm-hmm.
probably need to go back and deal with our inner
Mm-hmm.
childhood. Because that's where it
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah.
And
For
if
sure.
and so the one other thing that Nia Long said that resonated with me, because she's so strong.
He
She's so
is.
strong. She said, if somebody don't want the help, don't try to keep giving them the help. Because at the end of the day, people have to want to change on their own.
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
when she started talking about her healing journey and what that looks like, so I thought that part of that was kind of funny because she said she sends all this energetic, I don't know if you got to that part,
Mm-hmm.
just energetic kisses, but she sends energetic kisses to her ex so she can relieve the pain. Not that she needs to see him. It's this, she was talking
I,
about how she deals with her pain.
Ooh, really?
She does it for her. Not that he has access to her.
Right.
Not that she talks to him. She does that for her. That's how she
Yeah.
get over her pain. But and then Jeezy came back kind of like, oh well, I'm not about to be sending no energetic kisses. I was cracking up. But
Yeah.
more of the story.
Yeah.
Until you get raw and uncut with you're not
Baby.
gonna become a better version of yourself. Because that's what I got from that entire interview.
Yeah, for sure. And it definitely allowed you to see him in a different perspective. And sometimes we're so quick to lock people in that this is who they are and that's who they're going to be. But the reality is, if you really want something different, you really want change, you can go and change. But it does require some work and some tools and some resources, and things like that. I get tired of people saying, well, that's just who they is and that's how they always going to be. That's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true. You can truly change if you want to.
But
You
you
know what
gotta
I
do
mean?
the work though. But see the problem with the problem with a lot of us, we don't take accountability. We don't take
Yeah.
accountability. It's we play victim and everything is everybody else's fault. It's your parents' fault, it's your kids' fault, it's your ex-husband, your ex-wife fault. It's everybody's fault except for yours.
If that ain't the truth, and let me tell you one thing somebody brought to my attention. I was just talking and everything that has happened, and this he did this, and they looked at me and they said, "Why are you telling me their story? That's their story. Why are you telling me? I want to talk to you about you. What do you mean talk to me about me? I want to talk to you about you." And that's when they began to bring out, this don't have anything to do with all these past relationships and different things like that. All your issues are deep rooted from your parenting, from your parents, your mom and dad. Let's start with that, because that's who birthed you. So let's figure out what's wrong with you. It ain't got, you made a decision to be with those individuals or have those friendships. So let's talk about what's wrong with you. And I was like, And you got the nerve. And she was like, LaTonya, you can't go on those stages talking about them. When you go on them stages, you need to be talking about you.
Absolutely.
Hey, first of all, you looking kind of side-eye because you dated those men, or you were in those relationships, or you had that daughter when you were young. So what's going on inside of your mind? What's wrong? And so I really had to take a step back and do a check on myself. And this is just me getting prepared to go talk on stages. Can't be out there talking about stuff. And that ain't my story. That ain't my business. It's not here for me to spread what's going on with somebody else. But I remember going through that phase and having that tough conversation to figure out why I made those decisions. You know, why did I go down that path and think that that made sense? And so when I heard Nia Long, not to get off track, but when I heard Nia Long say to Jeezy, she was like, I'm like you. She said, I dated all the drug dealers when I was in high school. I did. Nobody would have never known. She didn't even have to share that. It really didn't. She didn't have to. But she is too in a phase of, I got to face everything that I've done that has gotten me to where I am, you know, today. And so I just don't want people to be embarrassed about their story. Don't be embarrassed about what you've been through or what you're going through, because that's just a part of your story. It's a part of your journey. And you can't be afraid to talk about those things. And men, sometimes more than women, in my opinion, this is an opinion, men don't want to address that. I mean, you don't always got to be strong and the protector all the time. There are times and moments when you need to be that. And that's not all the time. Sometimes your woman wants to see that vulnerable side and have that freaking conversation about,
Absolutely.
what happened. Easy.
Absolutely.
It was an older woman. And I've heard this story before because I've dated somebody who told me the same thing. An older woman took their virginity. Way older. And so that's mental.
I know. Did you hear him say that though? He definitely said that.
It was good. It was
It was really good. It was an amazing interview. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go back and watch it again because that's how amazing. Because I was picking up, I was watching it, getting nuggets. I was like, you know, yeah, I was getting my own nuggets from it. Yeah, I was getting my own nuggets. You know, talking about the strength of a black woman, and I don't feel like we should. You know, I don't know if we get the stereotype of the black women are strong because we are, but we don't have to be strong for certain situations that continuously to happen to us, right? So that's why I'm a firm believer when in a relationship, in relationships, past, present, whatever, you attract what you are. You attract the energy of who you are, and you don't even realize it. And you ever look up and you say, well, I don't even know how I got in this mess. I don't even know. We're not compatible. We're not equally yoked. We don't like the same thing, so on and so forth. But at that moment, whenever that moment was that you attracted that person, you are attracting who you are. That's your energy that you attracted.
Yeah.
So that's why when you start to evolve and change in a more positive light, to me, you start to attract those type of people. And that's the same thing with friendships, relationships. Who wants to be in a circle of friends that's negative? You know? So, but if you are a negative person, a lot of times you will attract negativity. I mean, it just goes hand in hand. So I just thought it was a great interview. I did learn something from it. And you know how I am when it comes to things like that. And you also know how I am when it comes to love, because everybody know me. I love love, and I am team love. But you know, Nia said something too when she said sometimes you got to know when it's time.
Yeah.
You have to know when it's time. And sometimes you drag. And now you shouldn't run immediately when you have issues in your relationships. I don't think you should.
No.
Nothing's perfect. Nothing is perfect.
Right.
But you still need to know when it's time.
Right.
If you're the only one that's continuously working in a relationship and it's one-sided, you need to know when it's time.
Yeah.
And if you're promoting self-love and self-care, but you're not taking care of yourself first,
right,
you just need to know when it's time.
Right.
You know, I don't think, you know, I know a lot of people feel like, oh, society making people feel like they don't have to work for anything. And I agree somewhat. We do, society, the social media particularly, social media have you thinking that everything is perfect in everybody's relationship, right? Because you don't see nobody posting that about them not liking their spouse, or their spouse got on their nerves. Oh, let me tell you what my spouse did. You see highlighted things in relationships on social media.
Yeah.
But we all know if you a relationship, everybody has issues. The sun does not shine every day. Okay.
Yeah,
So, and you're not obligated to get on social media and tell nobody what you got going on in your relationship. That's your business.
that's your business. But here's the thing I do have a problem with. So I'm probably going to make some people itch. You have to be able to, if you're going to come to social media, then you have to come to social media, especially if you're going to start sharing all these great things that's happening in your life. You can't act like nothing didn't happen in the midst of the good things, because there is no way that you reach any level of success in a relationship, a business, or anything without having some downfalls, without having a piece of failure in the process, without something not working. The bottom line, even in relationships or one-on-one relationship, man and woman relationship, or whatever it is, there is going to be some things that go wrong. Now, here's my take on it. You don't have to come on social media and say, oh, he cheated on me, or I cheated
No.
on him, come home on time. What you can get on social media, and you can craft that to a message that educates and helps people. It's
Absolutely.
just, I don't
Absolutely.
have to go there and say what happened in my relationship, because unfortunately, Nia had to play it out
Well,
live.
her stuff was public,
That
so
was effed up.
she didn't have an option because her stuff was public.
So now she's able to, and I'm so proud of her. I'm just so proud of her. Let me just say it, Pup. I'm so proud of her, because and I would say it was a little humiliation publicly, and to be able to get up and keep going and to face the public, because she don't have to get on here and do this stuff. She ain't got to do any of this. She could just keep going with her life and acting and never address it. So I'm very, very proud of her for doing what she felt she needed to do in her own time, because that happened a long time. It's been some time. So
Oh
I
yeah.
think that it's okay to come on social media. If things aren't going right, get some advice. Join some of these. They got relationship groups or marriage groups, or they have groups about friendships, any type of group, and get in that space and get some help, and not just make it always about a bashing session, but stop always trying to act like everything is
Right.
perfect, because it's absolutely not. And I say it a lot of times on social media, like, this has been a rough year. It's been a rough year. And I know it ain't been just rough for me. It's been a rough year for a lot of people, so I try to be as transparent as I can without telling somebody else's story, because some of the things I'm going through affect other people. So I don't want to put nobody, I'm getting better about sharing somebody else's story. But some things I'm going through wasn't me. I just happened to be brought into it because, and I can't share some of those details, but it's been a hard year, Theresa. So I think it's how you craft the message. It's
Absolutely.
how you, that's it.
Absolutely.
God, please. Y'all already know.
Well,
People watch.
sometimes I go. Sometimes I go on social media, and I look. I may look for those stories where you
Yeah,
had failures, or look for those stories that you went through something, and not because I want to gloat in it, because I'm trying to see what I can learn from it. But
correct.
if all I see is highlights, then obviously you get caught up in the hype of the highlight versus you dealing with the realization, to me, of what really happens in people's situations, situationships,
Yeah,
marriages, relationships, whatever, friendships. And
yeah,
so obviously, you're not going to go out there. I have issues in my marriage. I'm not going to go out and tell the whole world
yeah,
what
absolutely
I
not.
have going on.
Yeah,
But again, I like how you say you can craft the message
yeah,
to be able for someone to be able to help someone, for someone to get something out of it, versus you just getting out there telling all your business. Because I can tell you firsthand, I I probably would never be the one that would get out on social media and talk about in depth of what I have going on in any parts of my life. I talk a lot about business, right?
yeah,
So you
yeah,
do see a lot of me having fun and enjoying life.
yeah. Right.
And I don't have a problem. I said this upcoming year, I want to show more of the vulnerability in me, because I think people perceive me from feedback of what I get. I think people perceive me as
Yeah,
not perfect, but as problem free,
yeah,
as she
yep,
don't deal with nothing. She just travels the world, and she has businesses, and she's obtained some success. Like, people don't really know the vulnerable me, right? Um, and I'm just gonna pick and choose what stories I
yeah,
choose to share
yeah,
that I think that can help somebody else.
yeah,
But you cannot judge people by what you see on social media.
Yeah. I think here's the key message, and this is what I keep saying. I don't think that if you know, whatever you choose to share of your life, it needs to be about your life, not about nobody else. Because
Absolutely.
it could be very sensitive to other people. Sometimes things we're sharing, even if you're having an issue with your sibling, because people have that, or having a problem with somebody you're doing business with, and y'all are friends. Whatever the situation is, it can be sensitive to the people that's involved. So we have to be careful about how much we share, because you go on here, start telling your story, and that person will be like, that's your story, that's your feelings, that's your truth, that's not mine, and I was in it. So I think we're getting more mature now about understanding how do we do this without it being a bashing session. Because you be on social media, you see some of these things. You know, one of the things my daughter asked me yesterday, she said, "Mom, how do you know so much about this Krishan and Blueface?" And I said, "It's all on social media. It's driving me crazy. I could tell you, oh my God, that's
It's overkill.
too much. That's too much.
It's overkill. Well, the thing about it, if you put it out there, you can't get mad about people giving you their opinion.
Man,
Because we can't
oh my God,
give you an opinion on something we don't know.
yeah,
You know?
for sure. I just hope that
So,
men watch the interview and not just women. I'm back to Jeezy and Nia. I hope.
well, they're going to probably look at Jeezy as a
What?
soft, because you know one thing he said that I love?
What was
He
that?
said, real niggas don't cheat.
Real niggas
Don't cheat. That's what he
and
said. He said, real men don't cheat.
exactly.
Real men don't cheat.
Heard those allegations from Jeannie, so we know. Or I'm pretty positive he wouldn't make such a stern comment if that was his issue. And what I like is that, hey, this ain't for me. Let me just get out, whatever the situation is, because you don't want to be reckless. And then he does have respect for her. And see, here's the thing that I have sometimes, us as women and men, we don't respect the person that we decided to have children with. And sometimes, no matter how mad or angry either side is, it's not always the best thing to go and bash that person because there's a child involved. And I think that sometimes we have to take our emotions out of it, because one of the things my children will tell you, I never sit around. I'm not having a bash session about nobody that I chose to have a child with that could impact my children. And there's a maturity thing. So I respect him too for that, and him not talking about it. And Jeannie didn't come back with anger. She came back with hurt, like she was confused. You know what I'm saying? To a certain degree, it seemed like that, but I don't know. Was she really? I don't know. But I just asked that if we're going to get on social media and bash, people we decide to have kids with, husbands, ex-husbands, baby mamas, baby daddies, think about the children, because they gonna see
Yeah, because that stuff is being recorded. Once you put it out there, it don't even matter if you go delete it. Once you put it out there, it's out there. That's just the reality. It's out there once you put it out there. So I totally agree.
They've been able to pull tweets from 10 years ago about what somebody said 10 years ago, that they was a racist, or you're like, no, they're not. And they're like, yes, they did. They posted. Or I'm telling you, the internet can be a real weapon. And I mean, it can hurt you.
It can be brutal. It can be brutal. So that was some of the things I wanted to catch up on, because
highlight, honey. That was a highlight.
There was some good stuff. So if you have not watched the Jeezy and Nia Long interview, you have got to go and watch it.
For sure.
That was a really good interview. And like I said, I was getting nuggets on both sides, and I can relate a lot to what some of the things that Nia was talking about that she went through, and the processes of how she heals and all that type of stuff. So, like I said, it's a really good interview. If you guys have not been out there, been out and been watching, please do so. I'm going to watch it again. That's how good it was. I was glued to the TV, and I actually watched it this morning. So, and I normally get up in the mornings and meditate and I pray and stuff like that. But I got it.
Because sometimes, it's the little thing nuggets we need to drop before we drop off of here. But share your routines, because I know when you come to my house, you always share something new that I thought I was already doing. I already think I have everything has opportunity for improvement or to add to it or mix it up. So why don't you share? That's one thing you're good about, your morning routines. And I know I am too, but I always learn something,
My morning routines are pretty consistent. When I first wake up in the morning, first thing is I'm thankful, and I say thank you, and I'm thanking God for another opportunity, because He didn't pass me by. That's the first thing comes out of my mouth in the morning. So it's not grabbing the cell phone; it's thanking the Creator. And then sometimes most of the time I get up, I'll just sit and be still. Sometimes I I will sit and just be still.
Yeah.
What I try not to think about is, oh my God, what I got going on today? Oh my God, I forgot to do such and such yesterday. So I try not to get overly thinking in what I got going on, but more self-soothing.
Yeah.
So I just get up, I sit there Indian style. I sit there Indian style and I self-soothe. I put a lot of times, you know me, I'm either going to put something motivating on TV.
Correct.
This is every morning. I'm putting something motivating on TV.
Every morning.
Or I'm going to listen to my gospel music. This is every morning. This is every single morning. I don't miss a morning listening to gospel music, and I don't miss a morning putting something motivating on TV unless I am not
Yeah.
home. And I do not miss a morning sitting and being still.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love it.
And I claim a good day. I don't wake up with this. I don't care what happened the day before. I don't wake up with, oh my God, I know today's gonna be a good day. I just go ahead and claim it. So open up eyes. Thank God for allowing to see me another day. Meditate. I have a manifestation journal.
You do.
The 369 manifestation journal. I write down my manifestations of what I'm manifesting for that day.
Right.
And that journal is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You manifest, you write down your manifestation, and then you write it down 3 times and cite it in the mornings. You write it down 6 times again in the afternoon and recite it. And then you write it down 9 times at night before you go to bed and recite it. And I'm big on manifestation.
Absolutely.
And so, because it's manifestation is real. And so that's why I always say that there's death and life in the power of the tongue. And it really is. So be careful what you say out of your mouth. Okay. Because you can speak things into existence that you don't really want in existence. So that's pretty much my ritual. And it helps me throughout my day, regardless of whatever type of day that I end up having anyway. So, and I know you do some of the similar things.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah, for sure. And for me, it's consistency. Even if you don't, people think consistency is every day. Consistency is just having something that you continue to do, whether it's the same time or whether it is every day or whether it's once a week. It's just being
absolutely
as something. And anybody that's struggling with routines, it's not going to happen overnight. So everything Theresa talked about is not just going to become your norm. I never believed that I would replace regular TV shows now. I'm always watching something that is going to help me, and not just always business, because the Nia Long, Jeezy, that's not business, but it helps you with your relationship. It helps you with your growth and identifying your own challenges and things you need to face. But I never thought I would give up all this scripted TV, this reality TV for that. Now I have some favorite shows, so I'm not even going to lie, honey. I get in on them shows, but I don't watch as much of that. It's now like down to 2 hours of that, maybe, or an hour. Some nights I just go to bed and the TV's off. So, the thing I'll share with you is that you have to start practicing it, whether it's once a week or whether it's every day. You just have to get started. And once you get started, it kind of becomes very easy, because what I've never added outside of my morning routines is at night, because I don't want to go to bed with things on my heart and on my mind. So I write it down, release it, release it verbally, release it on paper, so that I can sleep well.
Absolutely.
And if I get up night and I don't sleep well, I get up. I don't force myself to go back to sleep, because clearly God or somebody's trying to get my attention. That's what I'm starting to realize. But I had to get in tune with myself to know, am I just up because I was mad about something? Because that could be the misleading thing. A lack of business could be on your mind. Or are you up because God's trying to get your attention? And once you start really practicing whatever your routines is, you'll start to realize who it is really, waking you up.
Yep.
So just as morning routine Theresa talked about and shared, you have to have a night routine too as well, so you can sleep well. Me and Theresa talk about, look, child, we don't do that no sleep. What's all this stuff, child? All the stuff y'all be saying, no sleep, teen, but no, honey. You see this beauty, they all filters. Honey, we have to get our rest, honey. Let me explain something to you.
Listen, because people still be talking to me about that. Success doesn't sleep. And I think people don't understand success doesn't sleep today is not like success doesn't sleep.
It's different.
So
Correct. Fact.
Totally different. And because I'm going to sleep. Hell, the other night I was in the bed at 8:30. I'm going to sleep. So, but because your sleep routine is a part of you being healthy. So you have to get a certain amount of rest every night. It's really important. So, well, I'm glad that we can catch up, and we got a couple other things that we need to catch up on. But Tanya and I will be back.
Yes, we will.
I don't know if it'll be Monday night again. We'll see. And and talk all things relationships, because I love talking relationships talk.
It sure does. And y'all know me, I can take it or leave it, but I do think share because it's important. It's a part of life. Seriously. I mean, I totally agree. Um, it's important, and we have to share that, because I do know people probably say, "Well, how in the world? What kind of relationships? How are they balancing it? Well, when they with their men, or do they have men?" People all in the business, and so I do know that they're wondering. Y'all are wondering. People wonder and want to know what's going on. They stay so glued to your stories. Let me see who is that? Let me see what's going. Stop. Anyway, this is a PG-13 live, but yeah, it'd be a whole lot of stuff. So I'm looking forward. And I had this conversation with Theresa. Me and her flip flop. One day she's on, we need to do this. The next day I'm on her, like, we need to do this. But I think we're in sync now. I think we know going into 2024 that we have to begin to really provide you some authentic, some real, knowledge, information, sharing, because a lot of things we're hearing on social media now is starting to be messy. And I hate that. I hate that there are a couple of bad apples that's spoiling it for everybody else, because there's some out here who really are doing the work, who've done the work, who are just really trying to do the right thing from their heart. And they can't help everybody right now, be on this mission to help everybody right now, but we are going to begin to work on that. Because I see the stuff on social media, and I can see it's getting messy, and people are getting what's the word when you start identifying somebody that clearly may not be who they say they are. And I'm not saying they're all that, but I know there's some stories coming out and some court cases and things, civil suits and things going on. So we want to be able to share some stuff that's really happening. Pull my tax records, honey. Pull my background check, honey. Go ahead and Google me. Shoot, I'm gonna tell you right now, but I'm gonna tell you before you have to go looking for what's going on in my life. I don't have no interest in that, because whatever.
Well, I think if you're going to be if you're trying to do anything on a public figure side, or you're trying to teach people, or you're trying to lead people and things like that, I think you got to be authentic with who you are. Now, if that's not the platform or direction that you're going to go in,
then leave it.
Then you don't need to
be on it.
Expose on some of these things. But you can't try to lead someone and coach someone and life skill someone on something, and you're not being perfectly candid and transparent about the things that you went through or your own life. So
you can't tell them how you did it. Stop saying you did all this, but what now? People want to know, well, how did you do it? So a lot of times we get on here and we motivate people and trying to inspire people with words, but we're just we're now in a space where, honey, you got to bring the receipts, so that you can really, because I'm not paying you my money, and I'm very particular about, well, can you share some examples? Can you send me your reviews? Can you share some people I can reach out to? Because I need to validate you. And I don't want it to be the people I see all on your social media bragging and pumping you up. No, give me those other people that don't even want to be on social media. Because Theresa, for one time, she was like, I ain't got, girl, I can't be on here. I was like, Theresa, it's still important, because I know how successful she is. I know how amazing she is. And I just wanted her to share it. Not that she had to prove anything or bring receipts. I'm a receipt.
I don't know. I just get in my spells. I've been doing pretty good lately.
You have.
But I just get in my spells. Thank you. I just wasn't big on coming on social media, just sharing stuff. Well, for one, I didn't have time.
You did.
That was the first thing.
You did.
I did not have time. And now I am making time to try to do better, I guess, when coming on social media. I've been doing pretty good the last month. Look, that done made me a rising content creator on Facebook. I was like, okay.
Look, you can do it. It was just the time, and then just balancing out everything you had going on, because that school you've been working on for like almost 2 years. People have no idea, but we ain't gonna talk about all that today. But it's why sometimes people go ghost, because people were like, "Tanya, we haven't seen you since the legacy brunch." Oh, there was a lot of learnings. I had a lot of things, and people don't know I was in the middle of a 6-month class that I was taking. I had a lot going on, just trying to balance everything. And at some point, it's okay to say, "Okay, I need a break. I need to get off the radar a little." And focus on my business.
And reset, you got to go. I had to go reset, regroup. And social media was not a part of my reset and my regroup. So I just didn't care about coming on social media. But you guys stay tuned. And Tanya and I'll bring you some other great topics. Thank you for hopping on here with me today, sis. I know how busy you are. And you guys stay tuned. If you're not following Obviously, if you're on this live, if you're not following me, make sure you are following me so you get the notifications when we do go live. And LaTonya, is it LaTonya Taylor Made?
You
What's
can,
your Instagram?
What's my name? I am Tanya Taylor.
Okay, I am Tanya Taylor. Okay, so
That's what I
it,
am.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, sis.
Okay.
I knew it was something. So thank you for getting on here. I'm gonna get onto the school. It just started raining a little bit, so I'm gonna get.
Ugly, a little ugly here too as well. Tira just said it was cold outside. So yeah, me too. I'm ready to jump in. I got, oh Lord, the to-do list. But love you.
I
I know
love
I'm gonna
you
talk to you.
more. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Enjoy your day, baby.
Bye.
Y'all
Okay.
have
Bye.
a good day too. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Bye. Okay. Ooh, child.